Hello students, this is Kaveshri. I welcome you to the third session of database concepts. Today we are going to study about normalization. So what is this normalization? You have seen about the relational database model where we are storing the data using the tables, rows and columns. So using rows and columns we were storing the data. In the normalization, so it is the process of organizing the data so that we can easily access the data and we can minimize the redundancy. What is this redundancy? Redundancy is the redundancy is a duplication of the data. A same set of data is stored in different places. So we call that as a redundancy. In order to remove the redundancy, we cannot completely remove the redundancy, just we can minimize the redundancy. The process we call the process of removing that redundancy, we call it as a normalization. So this includes creating the tables, establishing relationship between those tables according to the rules. It is designed to protect the data, which is the main important feature of DBMS, and make the database more flexible. What is this flexibility? Flexibility means anybody can use the data. Using different views we can use the data. So that is a flexibility. Normalization is used to minimize the redundancy from a relation. What is this relation here? The table. Okay. For example, in a student database, what we have, we are storing the details of the student in a mass card copy and a personal information data and course table. In all the places we are storing the student information. So that the same set of data are stored in mass card copy and course details and personal information of a student. In 3 places also we are storing same set of data. We call that as a redundancy. That should be minimized with the help of normalization. Normalization divides a data or a large table into small tables so that the redundancy is minimized. Coming to the next, we have different types of normal forms. Okay, normalization is expressed in different forms or different levels. So first we have first normal form, or we also call it as 1NF. So first normal form, in a first normal form, a relation will be in the values in the relation. Here relation is a table. The values in the relation must have atomic values. What is this atomic values? There should not be a multiple values. So ಯಾವುದೇ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಏನು ಡೇಟಾ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು attribute ಗೆ multiple values ಇರಬಾರದು. So if we are storing the details of the student, that means a student name, one student will have only one name, and a student ID will also be one value. Next, a phone number. One student can have many phone numbers. No, that is a multiple value. That should not be done in this normal form. First normal form, the values must be atomic. That means a multiple value is not supported in 1NF. That means we have to remove that multiple value. So next, see here. In this table, this is an example for 1NF. This is a given table where we are storing the employee ID, employee name, employee phone number and employee state. Here the employee is having one employee that is having a employee ID 12 is having 2 phone numbers. So this is not in 1NF. This is a normal table, okay, normal database. This is not, to convert this table into 1NF, we have to add some more tuple. Tuple means a form, any relation to be in a second normal form, it should first satisfy first normal form. That means atomic values must be stored in the table. That it should not contain any multiple values. Second condition is all non-key attributes are fully functional dependent on a primary key. What is this non-key attributes? Now, a key attribute is something which is used to uniquely identify a table or a relation. For example, in the employee table, we have employee ID as a primary key. So here, what is the condition? All non-key attributes, primary key biಟ್ಟು ಉಳಿದಿದ್ದೇನು attributes ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, that should be fully functionally dependent on that primary key. So what is this functionally dependent? In the employee table, employee ID attribute can uniquely identify the employee name. Because if we know employee ID, we can tell that employee name is associated with the with it. Employee ID ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ, okay, employee ID ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ employee name ನ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು, ಅಥವಾ employee name ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ employee ID ನ ನಾವು ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. That we call it as a functional dependency. So in the second normal, what are the conditions? First, it should be in a first normal form. Second, there should be the non-key attributes should fully functionally dependent on the key attribute, that is a primary key. So this is the condition for a relation to be in a second normal form. So next we have, so this is an example for having how we are converting into the second normal form. So here we have a teacher table. So teacher ID, subject and teacher age. So we have different subjects and a teacher age is also like this, and a same teacher is teaching a different subject. Like teacher ID having 25 is teaching chemistry and biology, and teacher ID having 83 so is teaching maths and computer. So by knowing how we are converting this table to second normal form, what is the condition? First, it should have atomic values, that means it should be in a first normal form. Second, the non-key attributes should be functionally dependent on the key attributes. That means here teacher ID is the key attribute, and we are dividing the table into two parts. First is a teacher age, and next we have teacher ID and a subject. So if we are having a teacher ID, then we can know what is the subject, or the subject ide nama hatra andre we can know who is teaching that. Okay, if we have a subject, that means here subject is functionally dependent on the primary key. In this also, the teacher age is functionally dependent on the teacher ID. So this is how we convert the first normal form into the second normal form. So next we have the third normal form. Okay, third normal form. What are the conditions to a relation to have in a third normal form is, so first condition is it should be in a second normal form. It should satisfy 2NF or 2NF, and it should not contain any transitive partial dependency. So transitive partial dependency irbaru. So enidu transitive dependency? Transitive dependency means a non-prime attribute defining another non-prime attribute. That means ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ prime attribute ಅಥವಾ key attribute ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವುದೇ non-prime attribute is deriving the non-prime attribute, then we call it that as a transitive dependency. That should not be done in a third normal form. In 3NF, 3NF is used to reduce the data duplication. It is also used to achieve a data integrity. Data integrity means the correctness of the data. So is transitive dependency? The non-prime attribute deriving the non-prime attribute. There is no involvement of the prime attribute here. So that we call it as a transitive dependency. That should not allowed in the third normal form. So here we have the example. Next we have an example here. So see here, we have author table here, which is having author ID, author and book and author nationality. Here the author ID is the key attribute, and knowing the book name, we can identify the author. Okay, knowing the book name, we can identify the author, and knowing the author name, we can identify author nationality. ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಬುಕ್ ನೇಮ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಆಥರ್ ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆಥರ್ ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ author nationality ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. So in the same way, here non-key attributes are deriving the non-key attributes. That means non-prime attributes. That is author ID is a prime attribute. It is not deriving the others. Only the non-key attributes are deriving the non-prime attributes. So this can be divided here like a book ID and book table and a author table. We can divide this table into two tables, that is a book table and a author table, where we have a book ID, a book and a author ID. Here we can know using the book ID, we can get a book name and the author name. Okay. In the same way, author ID, knowing the author ID, we can have a author name and author nationality. This is how we convert the table into third normal form. Next we have a Boyce code normal form. Boyce code BCNF ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Boyce code normal form. It should be in a third normal form, and for any dependency, A should derive a B. A should be a super key. ಏನಾಗುತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ a group of attributes is defined as a primary key. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ಏನಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತು, only one attribute is defined as a primary key. We can also define a group of attributes as a primary key, which uniquely defines the table entity, So therefore, if non-prime attribute defines any one attribute of a group of the key which is a primary key. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಎರಡು attribute ನ group ಮಾಡಿ we use that as a primary key. So in this table we have student ID, subject and professor who is teaching that subject. So a student ID is having student can learn many subjects, and professor can teach many subjects. Okay. Here we have two conditions. Java is taught by P Java professor and P Java 2 professor. Here two professors are teaching Java. So therefore here we have the combination of subject ID and a subject as a primary key, which defines the professor. So ಈ student ID ಮತ್ತು subject ಎರಡು combine ಮಾಡಿ it defines a professor. And next we have a subject which defines a professor which defines a subject. Okay, a professor ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, professor ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ subject ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? So that is not done in a BCNF. That means a group of a super key or a non-prime attribute is defining the prime attribute. Here non-prime attribute is defining the prime attribute, which is not allowed in a BCNF. So we have to divide the table into two tables, that is a student table and next one is a professor table. Where the a person or anything. If for example you have a chalk, that is an object. We can store the data of that chalk, like color, length, diameter of that chalk. So this is how we can define the properties of that chalk. So that is an entity here. So it represents entity is represented using a rectangle, and here we have a entity set. That means the values of the entity is grouped together to call it grouped together, and we call that as a entity set. And here we have two types of set. One is entity, another one is a weak entity. Okay, weak entity. Weak entity is represented by double rectangle. Okay, double rectangle. Why we call that as a weak entity means it is not derived. Okay, it is not derived uniquely, or we cannot access that uniquely. And standalone agiralla, it is derived from the another attribute. That means, like example, age. Age is a weak entity because it is derived from the date of birth. By knowing the date of birth only, we can insert the value of the age. So next we have so see here this next we have an attribute. Okay, what is this attribute? Attribute is a property of the entity. Attribute is a property of the entity. An attribute describes a property of or a characteristic of an entity. For example, name, age, address of an employee or a student is a property of the entity. So we have different types of attribute. First one is a key attribute. What is this key attribute? A key attribute is a attribute which uniquely identifies the table. That means using that key attribute, we can access the whole data of that particular value. So that we call it as a key attribute. We call it also as a primary key. Next we have a composite attribute. An attribute composed of many other attributes is called as composite attribute. So more than one attributes combined together, we call it as a composite attribute. Next we have multi-valued attribute. So in first normal form we have seen a student or an employee is having more than one phone number. So that is an example for multi-valued attribute. An attribute consisting of more than one value, we call it as a multi-valued attribute. Next we have a derived attribute. An attribute which is derived from another attribute, we call that as a derived attribute. So this is an example for ER diagram. So here this is a relation. A student is a table or a relation, and we have attributes which is represented by oval shape. So roll number, name, date of birth, and phone number and age. Here phone number is having a multi-valued. Okay, it is represented by double oval multi-valued attribute. And here the address is also another attribute which is having a country, state, city as another. Here we have, this is an example for a composite attribute. We have the relationship. What is this relationship? So relationship is a link between the two relations or relationship. One is a binary relationship, a recursive relationship, and a ternary relationship. In this academic, you have only a binary relationship. In a binary relationship, we have in a binary relationship we have two relations. That means two tables are connected with the help of a link. Okay, so binary relationship means a relation between two entities. We have different types here. Okay, binary relationship we have different types. How many entities are involved in that? How many entities are involved in that relationship? Based on this, we have different classification. So first we have one-to-one relationship. That means a male is married to one female. One male is married to one female. There we have one-to-one relationship. So one-to-one means when each entity in an entity set, each entity in an entity set can take part with only one instance of the another entity. Okay, only one person can marry another person. So one-to-one relationship. Here this is an example for one-to-one relationship. That is one male is married to one female. Okay, next we have many-to-one relationship. Many-to-one relationship means so n number of students. Okay, n number of students is joined to one course. Okay, one class ಅಲ್ಲಿ n number of students ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. So n to 1. That means a many to 1. So when the entities in one entity set can take part only once in a relationship set, and the entities in the other set can take more than one part. So one entity set ಅಲ್ಲಿ more than one parts ಇರುತ್ತೆ, which take in a relationship with only one part of the another entity set. Next we have many to one relation. So many to many relationship. Okay, many to many relationship means m number of students is enrolled in n number of courses. Okay, the students can join a PUC at the same time. He can join some computer classes, and the same time he can join some drawing classes. That means the m number of students are joining the n number of courses. So when entities in all entity sets can take part more than one in the relationship, cardinality is a many to many relationship. Next we have the participation constraints. That means how many entities are participating, or how many entities are participating in the relationship. Okay, so here we have two types. One is total participation, another one is a partial participation. What is this total participation? Each entity in the entity set is involved in the relationship. So total participation is represented by the double line. Here double line represents all the entities in the entity set is participating in the relationship. So partial participation is not all the entities are involved, only some of the entities are involved in the relationship, and it is represented by a single line. Okay, students, m number of students are enrolled, only some of the students are enrolled in the n number of courses. So here there is no total participation, but here there is a total participation. This is a total participation and this is a partial participation. So here next we have some important terminologies of relational database management. So first one is a cardinality. Cardinality specifies how many instances of one entity set, how many instances of one entity set involves in the relationship to the how many instances of another entity set. So you ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೋರ್ಸಸ್ಸಿಗೂ ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಪ್ಷನಲ್. ಆದರೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಕೋರ್ಸಿಗೆ ಹಿ ಶುಡ್ ಜಾಯಿನ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ it is not optional, it is mandatory. So cardinality defines it is a mandatory option, and ordinality defines it is optional. Okay, the relationship or involvement is optional. A link between the two relations is okay. Next we have the generalization and specialization. Generalization is a number of entities are brought together into one generalized entity. Like we have a Benz car and a ambassador car, Omni. Here that is a specialization. Okay, we have different groups. Those groups are combined together to form a car. So here we are joining different groups of cars or different types of car to form a car. Okay, this process we call it as a generalization. So grouping different types of entity to form one single entity, we call that as a generalization. Next is specialization. A group of elements is divided into subgroups based on their characteristics. Okay, based on their characteristics, a group of entities divided into subgroups. That process we call that as a specialization. So for example, here we are dividing a address into city, place, and another a street and street number and a home address or house number. This is how we are dividing that address into different groups. Okay, so this is an example for a specialization. So next we have different types of keys. So ಅವಾಗಿನ ನಾನು keys ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. What is this keys? A key is nothing but an attributes. Okay, key is nothing but an attributes, or simply saying some special attributes. Okay, attributes ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಲಮ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಲ್ವಾ, attributes ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. See, the keys are some special attributes. So we have different types of key. A key is a set of one or more columns whose combined values uniquely identify that table or that relation. Okay, so a key is a set of attributes, either single attribute or a set of attribute. It uniquely identifies that table. Okay, for example, now previous ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ a student table ಅಲ್ಲಿ student ID, subject ID and a professor. There a student ID and a subject ID combinedly we are taking that as a primary key. For that we are using two attributes as two attributes to uniquely identify the table. So we have different types of keys. One is a candidate key. So what is this candidate key? A candidate key is any set of one or more columns whose combined values are unique among all the occurrences. So it is candidate key ಏನಂದ್ರೆ either single attribute or two or more attributes which is combined together so that each row is unique to other. Okay, ಅಂದ್ರೆ repeated values ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಮೂರು attribute ಅಥವಾ ಎರಡು attribute ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಎಂಟಿಟಿ or ಯಾವುದೇ ರೋ ರಿಪೀಟೆಡ್ ಆಗಿರಲ್ಲ. That means it shows the unique identification. So that is a candidate key. Next is a primary key. A primary key is a candidate key. See here, primary key is also a candidate key that is most appropriate. So candidate key ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಸೇರಿಸ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದರಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಯಾವುದು ಇನ್ನೂ ಯೂನಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಯಾವುದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, ಯಾವುದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಯೂನಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಕೀ. So primary key is a candidate key that is most appropriate to become the main key of the table. So primary key is a key that uniquely identify each record ಡೇಟಾಸ್ನ ಹೇಗೆ ಆಪರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಡೇಟಾಸ್ನ ಇನ್ಸರ್ಟ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅಥವಾ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಸಮ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ a relational operations or relational algebra, and this is a theoretical part of SQL. So next in DBMS structured query language ಅಂತ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ವಾ, ಸೊ ಅದರದ್ದು theoretical part comes under this relational algebra. So relational algebra is a formal description of how a relational database operates. So relational database was invented by who? The E.F. Codd. So relational database na operate ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ we need this relational algebra. So it is an interface to data storage and a database itself. Okay, the mathematics which underpin the SQL operation. So SQL operations ಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. The theoretical part ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. So ಯಾವುದೇ database ನ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ first they use this. Okay, after that it is converted to the language. Okay, using this it is converted to the language. So we have different terminologies here. One is a relation. A relation is a set of tuples. What is this tuples? Tuple is a entity, a row. A row na ನಾವು tuple ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So next table na relation. Okay, row na tuple ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Attribute na field ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Okay, a tuple is a collection of attributes which describe some real world entity. Okay, a tuple is a collection of attributes which describe some real world entity. An attribute is a real world role played by a named domain. That means attribute ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾಲಮ್. ನಾವೇನು ಈಗ ಏಜ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಕಾಲಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏಜ್ ಅಂತ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅನ್ ಆಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ಸ್ ದ ನೇಮ್ಡ್ ಡೊಮೈನ್. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದೇನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಮೇಲೆ ನೇಮ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಡೊಮೈನ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಸೆಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಟಾಮಿಕ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್. ದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ದ ಏಜ್ ಇಂದ ಏನು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನ ಡೊಮೈನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ set a mathematical definition for a collection of objects. A set is a collection of objects. Next some basic relational operations. We have set operations ಯಾವುದು? Union, set difference, Cartesian product, and relational oriented operations: selection, projection, division and join. Okay, selection, projection, division and join. Next we have some important operators in relational algebra, that is a right operator. So right operator means what is this right operator? That means any changes we want to make inside the relation, then we use this set of operators. Like insert operator is used to insert the values or insert the data into the table. Next, the delete operator is used to remove the data from the table. Next, modify operator, it changes the value of the data. Okay, update, modify. Okay, SQL ನಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಇದೇ ರೀತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. We use insert command to insert the data into the table, and delete ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ modify ಗೆ update ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Next we have so these are the operators, right operators. Next we have some different relational operations. So select operation na ಹೇಗೆ ಬರೀತೀವಿ? Okay, select operation is used to select different attributes. Okay, select different attributes with the help of some condition. So condition true ಆದರೆ ಆ particular ಯಾವ ಇದು condition true ಆಗುತ್ತೆ is a condition and select is a keyword. Select DOB. Here DOB is the attribute name. Okay, select the attribute name condition from the table. Okay, from illa illi but bracket ಒಳಗಡೆ it is a table name. So it displays what? It displays the date of birth of the employee's date of birth, which is the employee name of the person who has 14th Feb as the date of birth. Okay, next this is the symbolic notation. Next we have project operation. In this project operation we can only select some attributes. ಬರೀ attributes ನ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, 2-3 attributes ನ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ we use the project operation. Select operation ಯಾವಾಗ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? One or more tuples rows ನ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ we use select. Project ಏನಕ್ಕೆ attributes ನ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕೆ we use this project. So this operation shows the list of those attributes that we wish to appear in the result. Okay, list of those attributes that we wish to appear in the result, and it is denoted by the pi symbol. Okay, pi symbol. Pi a1 a2 up to an in r. Okay, bracket alli r refers to a relation. Okay, a1 a2 an refers to the attributes. Okay, next we have a project surname, employee number from employee. Surname, employee number is the attribute name, and employee is the table name. Okay, and this is the symbolic notation of this sentence or this statement. Next we have union operator. So union operator is used to combine two tables. Okay, two tables alli common ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರಲಿ, ಎರಡನ್ನು ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. So that is union operation. Suppose there are two relations, ಎರಡು relation R and S ಅಂತ. The union operation contains all the tuples that are in S, either in S, either in R, or say both. ನೀವು set operations ಅಲ್ಲಿ union ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, that is an example for union operation. The union operation must hold the following condition. What is the following condition? So R and S must have the attribute of the same number. R ಮತ್ತೆ S attribute to same, number of attributes should be same, and duplicated tuples are eliminated automatically. So ಈಗ one table ಅಲ್ಲಿ some data ಇದೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಟೇಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಅದೇ set of data ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ only one set of data is displayed, the duplicate copy of that data is removed automatically. So this is about the union operation. So next we have see here, this is an example for union operation. So depositor relation, that means depositor table and borrower table. Okay, there we have customer name, account number. This is also here also we have customer name and a loan number. Okay, there also we have two attributes, here also we have two attributes. That means one condition is satisfied. So this is combined. So project the customer name from what? Borrower. Union project the customer name from the depositor. Okay, so ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ ನೇಮ್ ಬರಬೇಕು, ಬಾರೋ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಇಂದ ಕೂಡ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ ನೇಮ್ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಕಂಬೈನಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಏನು ನಮಗೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್? ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ದ ನೇಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್. ಓಕೆ, ಡೆಪಾಸಿಟರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಬಾರೋವರ್ ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ ಲೋನ್ ತಗೊಂಡವರು ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಅ ನೇಮ್ಸ್ who are making transactions with the bank. So for that we are selecting only customer name from that table. Here also we are selecting only the customer name, and we are making a union operation with these two tables. That means a Johnson Smith. 1. Okay, ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಟೇಬಲ್ ನೇಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ 1 ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ we use this rename. So it is represented by legs like this. Also row student 1, this is a new relation name and this is a old relation name. Okay, it is changed. A student is changed to student 1. So next we have a Cartesian product. Cartesian product is a it is used to combine the row of one table with each row of the other table. So one table in a one row, so ಇನ್ನೊಂದು table in the ಎಲ್ಲ row ಜೊತೆ combine ಮಾಡಿ. Next ಮತ್ತೊಂದು row of this table and all the rows of the other table. So this is how the Cartesian product occurs. So Cartesian product is used to combine each row in one table with each row in the other table. It is also known as a cross product and it is denoted by this. The notation is here E is the employee table and D is the department table and this is a symbol of a Cartesian product. So see here the Cartesian product. So employee table and department table. So employee ID we have employee name and employee department. In department name we have department table, we have department number and department name. So this is the product, Cartesian product of employee and department. See here employee ID 1, Smith is the employee name and employee department is A. So this is a of department table. So department number and department name. So marketing. Next we have the Smith, same thing, A, second row of the department table, B and sales. So same thing, first one Smith, A and C is the third row of the department table and the department name is legal. After that we have second row of the employee table, that is 2 is the employee ID, Harry is the employee name and C is the department name. So next again these three are repeated. So this is about the Cartesian product. warehouse. So that is displayed here. So this is about the outer joint. In outer joint we have three types. So right outer joint, left outer joint, and right outer joint, left outer joint, and right outer joint and left outer joint. So next we have equijoint. Okay, equijoint. Equijoint is also known as inner joint. Outer joint and inner joint. So it is also known as inner joint. It is the most common joint. It is based on the matched data. Okay, matched data as per the equality conditions. So ಎರಡು ಟೇಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಡೇಟಾ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದಷ್ಟೇ ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಇನ್ನರ್ ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಡೇಟಾಸ್ ಆರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ಡ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಐಡಿ, ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಐಡಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗಬೇಕಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ 1 2 3 ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲೂ 1 2 3 ಇದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಐಡಿ, ನೇಮ್, ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಐಡಿ and city is displayed. This is about a equijoint. It doesn't check any condition of the attribute. It only checks the value of the attribute. Next, coming to the last section of the database concept, that is a database warehouse or data warehouse. What is this warehouse? Warehouse ಅಂತ ವರ್ಡ್ ಕೇಳಿರ್ತೀರ ಅಲ್ವಾ? So that is a godown. Okay, godown. But here there will be no buildings and all to store the data. Here we have a large amount of memory space where we store the data. So ಈಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ we are using computers to store the data. We are storing the data in the computers. We are storing. Where these data, all the data are stored somewhere. ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 10-15 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಆ ಕಂಪನಿ ನಡೆಸ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ all the 15 years data should be stored somewhere. Alva? So that data of the 15 years data are stored in the warehouse. Okay, where stock room anta ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ವಾ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ. So ಇದನ್ನ warehouse ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So a data warehouse is a repository of the organization electronically stored data. See here, this is a warehouse and these are different organizations or different departments in the company. All are storing it in the data warehouse. Why we are storing this here in warehouse? In order to make some reports, some decision making analysis. Okay, decision making use ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, reporting use ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ data mining ಗೆ use ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. In order to search the data, we use this data warehouse. It was introduced in 1980s and data warehouse is a central place. It is a central place where the data is stored from different data sources and applications. Where there are sources in the, we store the data in some place. Okay, we call that as a data warehouse. Next we have the common data sources of the data warehouse include the operational databases, SAP and non-SAP application and flat files. What is this operational databases? That means daily routines data we are storing it. ನೀವು WhatsApp ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿರಬಹುದು ಬ್ಯಾಕಪ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಡೇಟಾ. ಸೊ ನೆವರ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ, 1 week ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ, 1 day ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ, 1 week ಅಥವಾ 1 year ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ those data are backup ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ? So those data are stored where? Those data are stored in a warehouse. Okay, data warehouse. So flat files are text files or Excel files. So those comes under the flat files. So data in a data warehouse is accessed by the BI, that is business intelligence users for analytical reporting, data mining and analysis. So ಯಾರು business improve ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಹಿಂದೆ ಹೇಗಿತ್ತು ಇವಾಗ ಹೇಗಿದೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಹೇಗಾಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಈ ತರ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ವಾ, ಅವಾಗ they will use this data warehouse. So next different components of the we have different components of the data warehouse. First is the data sources. Data sources refer to any electronic repository of the information that contains data of interest for management use and analytics. ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಡೇಟಾ ಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿಂದ ನಾವು ಡೇಟಾ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ database management system, and different data models, database architecture, and normalizations, file organization, and data warehousing.